Guys, day 76 of the 100 Days of LeetCode. We got another LeetCode problem. We're doing first bad version, and let's get right to it. So, you are a product manager, and you're currently leading a team to develop a new product. Unfortunately, the latest version of your product fails the quality check. Since each version is developed based on the previous version, all the versions after a bad version are also bad. Suppose you have n versions, 1 to n, and you want to find out the first bad one, which causes all the following ones to be bad. You are given an API bool is bad version, which takes version as parameter, which returns whether version is bad. And we want to implement a function to find the first bad version, and then very key, we should minimize the number of calls to the API. And here we have an input n equals 5, and of course fails the quality check, right? Because the latest version of our product fails the quality check, so we got to check the rest to figure out which one is the first bad version. This one returns false because 3 apparently is not a bad version. 5 returns true, 4 returns true, then 4 is the first bad version. This one, of course, if n is only equal to 1, then the first bad version is going to be 1 because there's only one version, and the latest version fails the quality check, so it's guaranteed to be 1. Okay, so let's write the code. We're going to be using binary search here. That's how we're going to be minimizing the number of calls to the API. It's going to really help us out. Yeah. To do binary search, what we need to do is we need to basically initialize a low and a high. The low is going to be 1, of course, because there's no 0 here. The lowest version is version 1, right? So we're going to be using low set equal to 1. And the high we can just set to n, and then I'm going to create this first bad version variable, which we're going to set to n as well. So basically the idea here is to basically, we're just going to check the midpoint of 1 to n each time to see whether or not that's a bad version. If it is a bad version, well, we're going to start checking below that number. If it is not a bad version, we're going to start checking above that number. So in this case, even though we don't have a list, we can still apply the sort of binary search principles that I've talked about before on this channel. So yeah, let's write that code. We want to do while low is less than or equal to high. We want to create a mid, which is low plus high minus low. Oops, low, integer divided by 2. And the reason why we do this is because we basically want to find the middle point of the points that we're still checking. So that's why we put low at the front, and then high minus low, integer divided by 2 will give us sort of the middle index there. Okay. So we do that, and I just want to correct myself. I said index, and I should correct myself because we're not dealing with an array. Typically, binary search, you do deal with an array or a list, but here we're not. It's simply the parameter that we're going to pass to our is bad version API, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're basically going to check if is bad version mid. Right, we want to check the middle number. Well, we have a bad version, so now we're going to check below that. So we're going to say that high is equal to mid minus 1, and then we're also going to update our first bad version, of course, to be mid, right? Because at the end of everything, we're going to be returning first bad version. So we want to set it to the mid because, of course, mid return true if we're in this if block. And now we're just going to simply do our else, which means that mid is not a bad version. We're going to do low equals mid plus 1, right? Because now we want to check the numbers above it. And of course, we don't update our first bad version because we haven't found it yet. And then at the end, we're going to return first bad version. And let's run that code. Let's see if I'm right. There you go. So that's how you solve that one. That was day 76. If you guys like that, please like, subscribe. We got 24 more days. Take care.